So hello everybody, welcome back. I wanted to show you what I'm doing today, which is basically I am on Moringa duty. So I have one tree of Moringa inside my house, and I put one in the front of my house, which means that it's outside of my house, but some people access that Moringa, but most people just leave it there for me. And that's not the same for plants, because when you put a plant outside of your fence or near your property but it doesn't have a fence or whatever, then people are just going to get whatever you have in there and then they're going to steal it or take it. For example, if you have a mango tree or papaya tree or something, they are going to take the fruit and then they're going to leave, because it is kind of considered, if you have it near your house but at the public eye, is kind of considered that people will take it. And in fact, if you leave small plants that are this size or even the size of, I don't know, let's say 1 foot, yeah, people will go with a scoop and then they will just steal the plant if they know what it is. And if they know it's valuable, oh hell, they're going to take it. So basically it's very, very important that you understand these topics for when you're having a garden. And anyway, this one is Moringa. Like I said, we cut it 2 days ago, and it was, let me show you the tree branches. So it was like that, and then we hang them. That's why it has the blue thing there. We hang them in a place that it is under the sun, but the sun can heat it, can touch it. So it was dry by the sun. Some of these leaves will fall into the ground, so you need to make sure that the ground is very, very clean. And then we collect that, and then now we are starting to do the first process, which is taking the branches out. So this one, as you can see, is the second process. This one still has several branches, it's being cut or whatever, but this one has several branches. So it is very thick, by the way. This one is, as you can see, if I grab it, is at least, I think two or three inches, tall. So it's too tall. If you're going to dry this, you need to make sure that it is about 2 centimeters tops. Otherwise, it will be bad. So, first you take all of the big things, and then you take the second part, which is this one. See, these ones, as you can see, it doesn't have a lot of the branches, the sticks. This one has very little sticks, and as you can see, if I put my finger in here, it's about this thick. And this is I have to come downstairs and do this 3 times a day. I have to grab it and flip it all over the place. And then tomorrow I have to separate the flowers from the leaves, because the flowers are for parasites, natural parasites. So if you take it, it will probably laxate you, and it will probably get rid of whatever problems you have with parasites. Certain parasites, obviously not all of them, but. And as you can see, some of the leaves are already dry. See, this one is already dry. I know, because the leaves will turn kind of like a wrinkle. See, this one is not dry because obviously it's too big, and it also soft. See, these ones are soft, but the other ones are wrinkled. The ones that are wrinkled is it means that they are already dry. Now, once they are dry, like I said, you have to separate them, and then after you separate them, you can place them into an oven, if you have it, dehydrator oven. I don't have a dehydrator oven. So what happens is that I have to take small trays, and then I have to take very, very thin layers of this, probably around this thick, half a centimeter or maybe 1 centimeter tops. And then I have to place it under direct sunlight for about 2 or 3 hours daily. And if I don't have any sun because it is rainy season or whatever, then this is a problem. And also it is a problem if you have a lot of insects, because right now I just took a lot of these things, and when I was doing this one, oh hell, see, there was a bee, and actually she stung me. So it is kind of bad. So you need to have allergy medication when you're dealing with plants, because most certainly you are going to be, dealing with insects, whether it is, bee or wasps or whatever. And like I said, this can take maybe a week of work. Considering the fact that you're doing probably around an hour or two daily. The first 3 days, you're probably doing about 3-4 hours, depending upon the size of this thing. Mine is kind of big, because this is going to be enough to fill up about I don't know, maybe 25 to 30. By the time it's finished, it's about 25 to 30 plastic bags that are about 100 grams or something like that each one. So it is good, right? What I do with this is some of them are for presents, meaning there are a lot of people that give me a lot of seeds and a lot of other plants. I'm going to show them to you in a few minutes. And they tell me I don't have moringa, or I don't have poleo, or I don't have lemongrass, or I don't have this one, or I don't have that one. So we kind of trade. It's not a trade per se, because we don't make a deal. We just kind of have like a relationship. So if I want a special plant, then I have to wait until somebody else gives it to me. And sometimes people already give me these things, because I keep organizing people's meetings to get plants, because gardening is becoming more and more popular, but there is people that do not know how the hell to do this, because it is not that easy. And there are people that are afraid of insects and bugs. So if you are one of them, then hell no, stay away from the garden, especially if you are allergic. If you're allergic to bees or to wasps or something like that, then you really, really, really can't be doing this. Because like I said, if you are touching plants, whenever there is flowers, especially white ones and red ones, there is going to be bees and wasps. And if you grab them like this, oh hell, you're going to be stung. So, eventually, it might not happen all the time, but oh hell, it will happen eventually. And so you need to be aware of this. You also need to be aware that this will be easier if you had hanging racks, and if you had proper stools to do these. But I haven't been able to find those here in my country, and even if I was able to find those here, those things are probably going to be too expensive. So anyway, like I said, see, you take the big things and then you throw them away, and then you put them in the trash. Some of those branches can be used for wood purposes. And then the seeds you put apart. So I'm going to show you the seeds. Give me a minute. So these are the seeds. This one is from the plant. You're supposed to wait until it's brown, and then it becomes this color. And then when you open them, it is supposed to look like this inside. See? So here is the moringa thing. So this one is a papaya tree that I have in my garden. So I have problems because, as you can see there, it is being eaten by snails, African snails. We have a problem with those things. I don't know who brought them here, but it has been a mess. So this tree takes about, 2-3 years to grow. And then it takes, a long time to grow the fruit, especially if you want it sweet. This tree was supposed to give me, I don't know, maybe 20 of those papayas, but it's going to give me so much less because of the snails. So I'm afraid of touching them because they're poison. So it's a problem. So of course, I don't deal with them. My mother does. So this one is also a papaya tree, but as you can tell, this is what happens when there is snails eating your tree. They will be eating the fruit or whatever, and then the tree might be damaged. And so you need to take care of pets before they even take care of whatever. So it's a problem, you know. So I have this papaya tree, and then I have this mango tree. This mango tree was cut when it was very, very, very young. You know, I had an accident with this thing. See, somebody cut it, and then I was thinking that it was going to die, but then I put a stick to it because apparently fruit trees, you can place a stick to it, and then you attach it, and then you attach it together, and the thing will just regrow. It will take a while, but it will regrow. So see, so later all I have to do is cut this thing later, you know, when it's thicker. But the point is that it grew back. So I'm so happy because this is a special kind of mango. So I don't like small mangoes. I like big mangoes. And there are about, I don't know, over 100 types of mangoes. So this one is kind of like those big ones, so I love it. So I'm just hoping also that this tree is female. Because if it is male, oh hell, male trees are never going to give you that kind of fruit. But you don't know, I mean, there are people that know by heart, by looking at them. I don't, because, you know, it's me. I'm not a farmer or anything like that, so, you know, whatever. By the way, this weed, it's important for you to understand that this one is asthma weed. So it's very good for medicinal purposes, but you need to figure out that by other YouTube channels that tells you, you know, how to use it properly and whatever. So before I continue showing you my garden, I wanted to remind you that down below is my email in case that you want to help me out by sending an Amazon gift card. So thank you very much because I really appreciate that one so that I can, you know, get certain things that I want or I need. So anyway, here in my country, it's funny. We call plants by what they do. So this one is called acetaminophen because it has the same effect of acetaminophen. So I have some that are dry, you know, because this plant has been on the sun too long, and this one is supposed to be kind of shadow sun. And it's dry, but it's supposed to look like that. And you will recognize this as opposed to this one, or as opposed to this one. We see they look kind of like the same because of the size and because of the smell. So this one is for the kidneys, and then I have rosemary, which by the way, it's a miracle. This freaking plant is very, very difficult for them to, it's very, very difficult to grow. So anyway, it's a miracle that I have one, because this one requires a lot of care depending upon where you are. So in my city, this one is not a common plant to have because it is difficult to grow. This one is plantago, young thing, and this one is coriander. Actually, a girl came and she gave me a lot of seeds, so I was able to plant them and they grew a little bit. And I have the other type of coriander, which is wild coriander. Oh crap, this one is awesome, 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 I swear. But having this plant around, oh crap, if you try to touch it, you are going to have a lot of problems because it has a lot of thorns. So it is weird. And, you know, I have lemongrass, which also, like I said, you know, it's very difficult because lemongrass requires a lot of water. You know, it's not a plant that you can just leave it there alone. And then I have a little bit of parsley, and then I have a little bit of chivas or chimes. I don't know how the hell to pronounce that in English. And then I have this one, which is And then I have this one, which is valerian. I have no idea how to mention that in English, but this one is for nerves, for calming you down, trying to make you sleep. So this one is oregano, and finally we have this one. This one I am not sure if we are going to keep it. The reason is because this one a neighbor gave it to me, and it is quite good, but it's called penicillin, meaning it is the natural version, plant version of penicillin. Penicillin comes from a mushroom thing, bacteria thing growing. You can make it naturally, but this one is the plant version. But my mother is allergic to penicillin, so I have no idea if it is going to be a good idea to keep this, because I'm not sure if it will give my mother a lot of allergies. And allergies with medications and stuff can kill someone. Oh, and by the way, this one is weird. I planted these over 2 years ago. I forgot about it, and quite frankly I thought that none of those seeds were going to grow, because they are what I call cocky and exquisite, meaning they don't grow to anybody. You have to have like a special kind of hand and touch to grow them. They are very selective. If they don't like you, they will absorb your energy and then they will not grow. Oh hell, I had over 50 of these kind of seeds, and they didn't grow at all. And I put them all over the place with all kind of soils, all kind of everything. I took care of them, whatever, and it was nearly impossible. And then all of a sudden I had this plant that I didn't know what the hell it was. Quite frankly, it's annoying because when you don't know something, you want to throw it away. So I was about to throw it away until the gardener came and he says, oh no, that is jaboncillo, meaning the plant that is meant to produce soap. So I was like, oh, and then I was happy, quite frankly. And now I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it here. I need to figure out that one, because I'm probably going to take it to the plaza nearby, because I need more fruit trees. And my garden is not huge per se, so I am trying to decide what trees should I get, because I want to have a lot of other kind of seeds. And so I want to have a special place for trying to grow peppers. By the way, I have tried to grow peppers, and no luck whatsoever with the peppers. Tomatoes, oh hell, tomatoes grow here, naturally. Like, I don't even have to throw seeds in it in the ground. And, birds will just show up, and then I will have tomatoes. So I'll show you. So this is tomato that was brought here by birds. So it grows here, like I said, naturally. Birds just show up, and then we have tomatoes. But the size of these tomatoes is this one. Not even the size of my nail. They are very, very, very small, and they are very, very, very citric. And I have no idea how birds are always here, but then I had to clear out all the plants that I used to have here, which were ornamental, because they look pretty. And now I had to take care of all those plants and leave these just for the birds to drop things. So I have plants here that I have no idea what they are. And some of them are fruits, some of them are other tomatoes, some of them are, whatever. And then I just wait for the garden to show up. By the way, this one can grow up to 2 meters high. Not, side or whatever, just high. So it's taller than me. This plant is taller than me, and it produces daily. And it produces, until it's very, very dry. This one is obviously dry because it's almost dead. I have already taken, I don't know how many of these things. But, so tomatoes, I just want to have the ones that are actual, seeds that are bigger and stuff. But I don't think that birds are going to drop those things in here. You know, so it's a little bit more complicated than that. Sometimes you have to just take whatever you can get, right? So that's it. So I just wanted to tell you about this garden of mine, so that you know that these things are not going to grow and take care of themselves alone. And the tomato plants, we had to put these things so that you can attach them. So you need a lot of sturdy twist, you know, like this one and stuff like that, so that you can put them together. And then you require water, and you require, you know, taking care of the plant. And then you need to have like hanging racks and stuff for certain things, like the oregano that I just showed you, or the rosemary, or, you know, whatever. And it will take you sometimes a week of work to try to collect things from just one plant. That is why, you know, moringa and other seasonings that come from a plant that may or may not be fruit, because, you know, you can also collect leaves from fruit trees that have special uses. Then you know, it's a hell of a lot of work. That's why they're expensive, and that's why you can give them as presents, and that's why you can trade them. But if you're going to trade them, like I said, you can't trade like, okay, I'm going to trade you one tomato for something. No, hell no, that doesn't work like that. What you do is to say, hey, somebody has a, you know, you create a group with people that is interested in gardening and people that are trying. And then you say, hey, I have these kind of seeds. They don't work for me, but they might work for you. So do you have this plant? Can we trade? And stuff like that. And that's how you do it. And then it's important that these people are near you, and it's also important that they trust you. Because if you're giving somebody else seeds that they don't know what it is, they might just take the plant out. You know, once it grows, you're like, okay, I don't know this plant, I'm going to take it out, that's it. You know, because you don't know it. So it's important to understand this, you know. So thank you very much for, you know, your support, and I'll see you again soon with the other videos about the garden if you're interested in this topic.